For a little over a week now, I've been trying out TikTok for the first time, both as a general user and as a creator, although mostly as a creator. And I've been treating it essentially like I have YouTube, which could be a little bit of a mistake, but there is also a reason for that. And yeah, I just want to ramble about it a bit because it's been kind of interesting. And as you'll probably see from this page, the results have definitely been mixed, but interesting nonetheless. And there's a few things I want to talk about. So we'll start with the why. This wasn't actually something that I originally planned, but only recently did I decide to make an account on TikTok so that I could claim my name. It was something I honestly should have done a long time ago, just because it's, it's one of the things when you have a YouTube channel or whatever kind of like presence online, you kind of want to claim your names on the different big platforms, and I had just never got around to it with TikTok, so I thought, I should just do it. It literally takes a couple minutes and it's claimed for if I ever want it. So I was honestly just doing that, but I ended up going onto the upload page because I was really just clicking around a little bit. I was just looking around. I've never really used TikTok. And that is when I saw duration 10 minutes and maximum size 2 gigabytes, which I did not know that. I did not know TikTok had upgraded to where you could now have a duration of 10 minutes. But then I also saw this, recommended 16:9 for landscape, 9:16 for vertical. I also didn't know that you could do landscape videos on TikTok. And so this was a big surprise to me. I mean, 2 gigabytes pretty solid, 10 minutes and regular landscape videos. So I immediately thought, well, why don't I try uploading some of my shorter YouTube videos, which most of my YouTube videos are not under 10 minutes, but I have some indie horror Let's Plays I've done that are under 10, so I figured, why not? And maybe even if it goes well, or at least has any level of like, if it seems even remotely worth it, I could probably also go back and cut down some of my, say, 10 to 15 minute videos to under 10 minutes, and, I would actually have a decent little chunk of content I could start out with, and just hope for the best, with honestly mostly hoping to funnel people potentially to YouTube for more. But even then I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I figured this wouldn't be a big time investment, and I just, thought it'd be worth a shot. So that's pretty much the why. It was not intended, but when I saw this, I thought, why not? And yeah, kind of went from there. So now I want to talk about a couple of things, starting with the experience and then the results. And the experience has definitely been a little all over the place, but it's definitely been interesting. I also just want to give, I guess you could call it a disclaimer or something like that. And basically just say, like, I recognize that obviously TikTok is more of a mobile first platform, but since, it has a desktop website and I mainly use a desktop, I don't really use a mobile much. This is very much just my experience just going at this very casually using their desktop site and not really thinking beyond that, like just, so I do recognize obviously certain things probably not going to work as well, but I also kind of assumed that with a platform being this big that, mostly everything would be in place. So, but also you can just see here, it is beta up here in the creator center. So I assume they are working on a lot of desktop stuff. So this is very much this is not meant to be a critical like view of things as much as just my experience just jumping into it, using it as a desktop website and yeah, not really thinking beyond that. So starting on the experience side of things, we can actually continue from this area, which is the creator center. And if you go to the homepage, this is essentially to me like the YouTube dashboard. But the kind of strange thing is there's no direct way to get here. There is a few ways to get here, but there's no direct way to actually get to this homepage, at least as far as I can tell. And for a while, I didn't actually know how to get back to this page in general, other than to either go to upload and then to home, or later I realized if you're on your profile page, you can go to the drop down and then go to view analytics, which will bring you here, and then you can go to home. But as far as I can tell, there is no direct link anywhere on the main TikTok or any menu that actually just brings you to this main homepage, which, in the end, it's not a big deal once you realize how to get here. But for a few times, I found myself just going to my URL and coming directly to /creator center because I didn't know how to get here. And again, this is not a big deal, but it's more one of those things where it feels weird to be saying that about a platform that is so big. I originally didn't know the Creator Center even existed until I had uploaded my first video, because I didn't really pay much attention when I first came to this upload page. It was just, all right, this is the upload page. I wasn't really looking much around here. And then after it finishes uploading, it pops up, upload another or manage posts, which brings you to here. And, slowly I realized there was other areas, and yeah, but it was just kind of strange that nowhere directly brings you this home, which it feels like such a main dashboard. You would think it would be in the main dropdown, which also, this completely changes when you're in here. You have to go back to your profile to then get this more helpful menu, which I guess they are separated. One's meant to be the main TikTok, one is the creator center. But I feel like some of these could be merged together a little better. But again, I just want to, I'm probably going to repeat, a lot of this isn't a big deal. It's just things that I noticed and, I don't know, things that I think could be better. Which also, coming back to that page, and it's just another small thing, but I feel like for me, I would have this linked so you can go straight to your profile from here, or maybe even the avatar. It is weird that you got to like have to go to a drop down to go to your profile. And again, just small things, but little things that I noticed. Now, more significantly on the experience side is a lack of information, and this actually has been a bit of a problem. And this breaks down into a few areas for me so far. Most recently, and they're back now, but you'll see at the bottom here, these two videos kind of just disappeared for a few days. They just weren't here. There was no explanation. I didn't really know what happened to them. I could see them everywhere else. I could see them on the homepage or my profile, but they were just gone from here. They're back. But yeah, so I guess problem solved, but that was a little strange. But more significantly, because that, you know, solved itself, this is an ongoing problem. I still don't, it's just kind of odd. You'll notice here, this first video, it looks completely normal. If I go to open comments, it also looks normal. I can click the video. It will open up. It'll start playing. I'll turn the sound off for now, but it's got sound and everything. It's normal. I can watch it fully through. No problem. Except if we go to my profile, this is that same video. It's a gray square that says community guidelines violation. And that's it. This happened shortly after I uploaded it, and it just went like this. I didn't receive any notification. I didn't receive any email. I couldn't find anything in my account that indicated any sort of mark against my account, like, you know, the equivalent of like a YouTube strike or like some rule violation. I mean, it says violation, but this is it though. Like there was nothing beyond this. I don't quite know what the guideline violation was or is. I still don't to this day. I never received any emails. I never received anything. And again, if we come back here into my like post manage area, it looks completely normal. It's not indicated anywhere that this is the case. And I find that especially weird that I can come in here and still watch it and I can leave comments, I think. Yeah. So even though I can't access the page, yeah, I can delete, but yeah, I can't actually access this post from my homepage either. Like that gray square isn't linked or anything. It just shows like that. It doesn't show, it only shows to me. Like for example, if I access my page not logged in, it won't be there or anything. But it's super weird. It just sits there like that. And you would think that there would be some sort of automatic notification or email or something, but there wasn't. So I did contact TikTok support on Twitter, and they linked me to this feedback page to contact. And I think that was 5 or 6 days ago. I sent a message to this, but I never heard anything. So I could try and follow up again. I mean, it's not the biggest deal, but I don't know what the problem would be. There's nothing that crazy in it or anything. I really don't know. But I think it's more like, I said, I think there should be some email, some notification, something. But I think it's the strangest that it just appears so normal here, like there's nothing wrong. And yeah, I don't know, just odd. And there's another similar case with this video right here. But strangely enough, while this is less significant in terms of action taken, there is more information. So this video has been muted, and when I first saw that I was confused, but I did have a notification for it. Oh, I see, they're grouped up in system notifications. Okay, I hadn't gone back to this, but yes, so this popped up, your video has been muted because it contains music that exceeds the allowed maximum duration, which, that's confusing. I don't really know what that means. This one makes more sense. Your video's been muted because it contains music that is not permitted for use. Oh, okay, that's straightforward. I don't know why that would be, but that's at least clear. I don't know if this is just a rule on TikTok. You cannot have music that goes for a certain amount of time. That's just a weird one to read, like on the surface. But also, for more details, open the TikTok app. Why? I get it. Like, TikTok started mobile. It's probably an app, but like, you would think the desktop website would match up pretty well. So like, this seems very inconvenient. I never really use apps. Like, I don't know. I work on my desktop all day. It's normal for me just to access through websites and things. You know, I don't use a YouTube app on here or anything. Like, I just go to YouTube. So yeah, kind of inconvenient. I don't know what more there would be. I haven't used the app. I'm just saying, like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to be too critical with this video. It's more just about my general experience of just coming out of TikTok as someone who's never used it. seeing you can upload 10-minute videos and just kind of going from there, you know? But yeah, at least with this one, while it would be good to have some more information, I did at least receive notifications. Like, this seems like the type of thing that I probably should have received for this one. Because this is like a lesser action. It is muted, which sucks, but this one's been completely removed. And I said, this isn't actually linked or anything. So you've kind of just got to go and look for the post. And obviously for me, it was my first one, so it was very easy to see. But if you had like a lot of stuff and then suddenly you get like one here, you kind of like got to go to your post area, check for which videos are on either side and look for it that way. Now, to be fair, maybe there was meant to be a notification or something and I just got a weird bug case. That could definitely be it. But still, it was odd. Anyway, moving on to this one, which is similar to this, although this one has just been restricted for sensitive content, which is understandable. This is, while it's cartoon, there's a lot of blood in this one. The game is called Ned Flanders Kills the Simpsons, and that is exactly what it is. So this popped up, I saw it, it's like, oh, okay, that's fair enough. But it did seem like another one where maybe there should be a little bit more information once again. Like I could intuit what this was, so that was fine, wasn't a big deal. But it did seem like another one of those ones that should probably pop up in here. Like it seems like they have a system for this. System notifications, it's, you know, count updates, your video's been muted. Like it's a very, it works, you know. I said, I found it inconvenient, you got to open up the app, but this still works totally fine. This is all you need, right? It's good. But it was, I feel like that's another one where this should have probably popped up in there. So, you know, I knew why this was and everything, but yeah, just another one where I feel like it just comes back to that like lack of information. And also, once again, if you go to the, which again, this is how I get here, coming back to the other one, like I go to analytics to get here, which is fine, just a little odd. But also get, again, when you look in here, all of these look exactly the same. This looks completely normal. And you go to the muted one, also looks completely normal. And then you have the one that has been restricted, which is still scheduled at the moment. But yeah, it also just looks completely normal. So I feel like they really need to, there needs to be a lot more here, basically. Oh, also another kind of random thing that I just remembered. You actually have to turn on analytics, which I found kind of strange, but also, again, not a big deal. But if you hadn't gone to your analytics before, you won't have had analytics data, as I understand. The first time you actually come onto this page, it'll ask you to enable it, and then it just is like normal analytics like you have on YouTube. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's like a resource saving thing, so they're not tracking extra data when people don't want it or something. But it would be kind of unfortunate if you'd just been casually doing TikTok for a while and you're like, you know, I should really look into my analytics. And then you're like, oh shit, I haven't had this turned on. So that would kind of suck, but yeah, I don't know, just another one of those things that I just kind of noticed. I found a little odd. But it is, yeah, all good once you turn it on. Last thing on the experience side I want to talk about is uploading files and scheduling and general posting. And also something that was interesting was I seemed to get put into like kind of one of those random beta things, because for a couple of days, once you drop the file in here and you get the stuff pop up, I had a different form and it was actually quite a bit improved. So hopefully that'll be a permanent upgrade in the near future. I believe I have a screenshot of it, so I'll pop that up in a bit. But yeah, there's a few things to this that it's very basic and it feels like it's lacking common features that I would have expected. Okay, so this is the page when you drop a file in. It is very basic, but it does the job. The newer version I mentioned is a lot better, which I will pop up on screen now. Unfortunately, I do only have this one screenshot, but it gives you a good idea of things. As you can see, you get a lot more information about your upload. You actually get the file size, you get the estimated time left, and you also get different previews. You can see a feed profile and web/TV view, so this will alter. You can also add covers, which seems to be a big change. This is just like regular YouTube thumbnail type of thing, and this feature actually works really nicely. One thing is though, I couldn't set a custom one until it actually finished uploading. So when it finishes uploading, you click this, it'll pop up a window and you'll be able to set a cover similar to the current way you do with TikTok. But what's really nice is if your video is horizontal, you'll be able to actually like move the little like vertical piece along the image to pick where you actually want it. You also have a much more accurate slider to be able to go through the video and get exactly the frame you want. And it's really nice. And it's the same too with if you upload a custom image that is horizontal, you can take the vertical slide and move it along to choose the exact piece you want. So this is really nice. And I actually have this set for, I think, one of the videos that is still scheduled. Oh no, it went up already. Yeah, this one. So this was actually a custom thumbnail that I had from YouTube, and I just selected the middle part, and yeah, so that was actually really nice. The new uploader seems a lot better, even though it's some small changes. But yeah, went away after a couple of days, so I guess it was just one of those random beta type deals. Anyway, coming back to here, it's simple enough, and it does the job. My main complaint is the scheduling and editing side of things. So once you set your information here and you set a schedule, and well, once it's uploaded and you actually hit post, that's it. It doesn't matter when you've scheduled it for, you cannot edit it, which I find odd. You're expected to just kind of delete and re-upload, which in that way, it doesn't feel a lot more like, even though it's like a video platform, the way it's set up is much more like Twitter or something. It feels more like a normal social media website, even though the main content is driven by video. So it's kind of an odd mix there. But yeah, once you set this, you cannot edit. For example, like with these scheduled ones, there's no way that I can edit this schedule, and there's also no way I can edit the title, which I don't really know why that is. It's just inconvenient. It's not a huge deal because, you know, you are dealing with smaller videos, but still, not everyone's upload speed is great. And so having to upload something that could be near 2 GB again, that can take a bit of time. Personal level, not a huge deal, but it does kind of suck that, you know, it feels like this is something you could just click and edit the date as opposed to, you know, having to delete the whole thing and redo it all. Also, on the scheduling front, you can only schedule up to 10 days ahead. I'm not really sure why that is, but just a limitation that feels like it doesn't really need to be there. But yeah, I think that about covers the experience. There's just been a bunch of like odd things and limitations that don't feel like they should really be there and missing info and stuff, but overall it hasn't been bad. Like it's fine, it all works well enough. It just, those feel like odd words to be using for like what is now one of the biggest platforms in the world. Now to be fair, this is like a beta thing, so I assume more of this is new for desktop, but it does feel like a lot of very basic features that aren't there that I would think would be able to get rolled out pretty fast. Anyway, moving on to the results. Now, as I said at the beginning, you can kind of see from here how things are mixed, or very lopsided even. On the view front, not bad, not bad, at least on the service level. Follower side, not good. Likes, well, they could be worse. It's been interesting. But we'll dive into a little bit more, but just at the service level, you'll notice here, this one just kind of odd. I don't know why it only got 3 compared to everything else. This one, I'm assuming, is penalized from having no sound, which is curious, because obviously there's no indication of that, but like with the view discrepancy, it does feel like that must get penalized in terms of being recommended. This one, kind of an anomaly compared to all the others. But it was also one of the 2, along with this one, that disappeared from my post area for a while. So I don't know if there's something up with this I'm just unaware of. But yeah, this one, these kind of anomalies, this one less so because I can assume some sort of penalty. This one I honestly have no idea. As for the others, they've all had pretty good views, although not good view time. And obviously, I've had like I feel like a decent chunk of likes, relatively speaking. Followers, not good, not good. But the view counts are interesting because at least to me, even if there hasn't been good view time, it does suggest that TikTok is at least putting my videos out there. Now, I imagine with TikTok, view counts are, you can't really take them quite the same as a YouTube video. Since in YouTube, in most cases, people are clicking onto the video, and even if they click off fast, they've still kind of made that conscious choice to click onto it. Whereas often with TikTok, I imagine people are just scrolling, something plays for a second, you're getting a view. So it's not quite the same, but it is still good to see that these are getting put out there. And in fairness, I didn't necessarily expect good results. These videos aren't TikTok friendly at all. These are essentially just my shortest Let's Plays. So, and most of them are near the 10-minute mark, which not really TikTok friendly, I would imagine. I can completely understand that. But getting any views, I figured it was still worth trying to post more and kind of see what would happen. And I do suspect that TikTok is going to start pushing a bit more towards YouTube style stuff, or at least trying to get more into the longer video market. They've had some big changes. I mean, when they started, they're at 15 seconds, they jumped to a minute, then they jumped to 3 minutes, now they've jumped to 10 minutes. Like, they've only done this every 2 or 3 years, but it's a big change over time. And especially jumping from 3 to 10 minutes is kind of huge. So I do wonder if now that they haven't really cornered the mobile market, that they're not going to start trying to push into some of YouTube's market a little more, especially with like horizontal videos working nicely on desktop and stuff like that now. So I'm not really sure on that, but obviously at the moment, these are not TikTok friendly videos. So I expected very mixed results, but I figured it was also good to kind of just start establishing a channel, getting some videos on here. You know, it's content I already have for the most part, so not a big time investment and all that. But yeah, the results definitely haven't been good. But as I said, I think it's been interesting because obviously these videos are getting pushed out there. But I imagine for so many people who are just kind of scrolling, they're watching very short things, like you land onto even if these are under 10 minutes, they're still a slower kind of regular Let's Play for the most part, in most cases. Some of them have quicker editing styles. For example, like this one was nearly 13 minutes that I cut down to like 9.5. So there has been some that are quicker, but they're still long videos when you're talking about TikTok. And yeah, you're really seeing the results being kind of like, I said, they're kind of odd, but I said kind of expected, I guess. I hoped a little better, obviously. But we've got 830 views to just one profile view, but 18 likes and 1 share. And if we go into the content section or go into something more specific, you'll see the average watch time, 2.8 seconds. So not great, but I said, I kind of expected this, at least potentially. And so I didn't really expect to get much out of TikTok, but I figured if anything, it was more about getting in a little earlier on them trying to start building up more long form content and trying to push more people towards that stuff. So in that way, I'm good with this. It's, you know, it's just an experiment if nothing else. But I imagine this is also quite common on TikTok in a lot of times when people are just scrolling through. And so you're going to get a pretty high bounce rate. And you can see here, like the average view time, like 1% made it to 40 seconds. So yeah, not good, not good. But yeah, it's just been interesting to see. You can see 52% Australia, that is really curious. Like, I wonder if they are recommending based on my location, because that's surprising to see. That's very surprising to see. And like 23% Canada, 23% New Zealand. US not even ranking in there. So that's definitely interesting. Going to another one, a very similar breakdown. About the same, 25% on Canada, over 50% Australia. That is super crazy to me. I really wonder if the recommendations aren't more based on my location, which would be a weird way to do things, but I guess maybe they got to start somewhere when they don't have a lot of data. Yeah. You can see all like performance, 4-second average, improving. And yeah. Traffic source, for you, 98%. But yeah, the results, I said, they're not good, but they're interesting, and I think there's still potential. I'm going to continue with this for now. I kind of see no reason not to. Said most of it is recycled content in the end. And, you know, I think it's good to get a base down here. Like, I really don't know what TikTok's going to do in the future. They're kind of booming. It's not really for me. I said, like, when I said at the beginning, this is my first time using TikTok. This is as a creator, but I've never used it before either. I've never had the app. I've never watched videos on TikTok. It's just kind of been out of my realm. But it does seem like if they've cornered the mobile market, they're allowing horizontal videos. They're obviously building out more of a desktop setup with a beta creator center. So they're assuming working on this. They're going for some longer videos. I could assume they might edge further and further towards YouTube, which I don't know what that looks like, you know? Because I feel like YouTube, they've kind of gone the other way, where obviously they've been normal video or just not regular horizontal video for so long. They're trying to push more into the TikTok stuff with shorts, and I feel like for the most part they have been very successful. But they've also kind of, TikTok has never, it's always been for short videos, but they've never kind of branded around it. It's just been what the site is. Whereas YouTube with their shorts, well, they're kind of stuck with that being called shorts, which kind of makes it weird now that they're allowing live streaming in shorts format, but live streams are quite the opposite of shorts, so it's got a little weird. But I kind of assume that YouTube has only done that because TikTok is also allowing live streams. So yeah, they're kind of going reverse of each other, but it seems like TikTok's the one with all the ground to like take, really, because while shorts on YouTube, obviously you can get some crazy views, it does seem like a lot of that's tapered off. And I imagine they've kind of hit a peak there, whereas TikTok's booming and they have a lot of ground they can take on the desktop side of things, especially with allowing 10-minute videos already. Like, TikTok's big enough to where creators kind of have no reason to not upload their under 10-minute videos. There's so many people on YouTube who make like 3 to 8 minute videos that are like really well done. They're well edited. The pacing is really good. Like, and while they're not the most TikTok friendly in the traditional sense of like much shorter videos, yeah, I feel like there's just so much ground to gain. So it's going to be really interesting to see where TikTok goes. Anyway, I went on a bit of a ramble there, but yeah, I don't know. It's been an interesting experience. I've only been doing this for a bit over a week now. I'm going to continue. Maybe I'll do an update video in the future. I will be running out of content to post on here quite soon, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do at that point. If it seems worthwhile, I might start trying to play more smaller games specifically to post on here. But it also made me think back to the olden days of YouTube where people would post like 10-minute parts. So I could technically bump up to my, 20-minute range videos and start posting them in 2 parts. But I don't know how worth it that is. It's really pushing the limits, I think, with TikTok, being that these are definitely not TikTok-friendly videos. But I feel like the more of a content base on here I can make, the more potential there is down the line if they start really... If it starts becoming more normalized to use TikTok for longer videos, I think there's a higher and higher chance that these can do well in the long term. So in that way, it does seem worthwhile, but you never know when they're going to bump up again, or if they are. It could be 2 years from now, they go up to 30 minutes. I mean, or they could stick with 10, or I really don't know what their plans are. It's hard to judge, but it does seem hard to think that they're not trying to go a bit more that way. Not necessarily trying to become like YouTube, but more like, as I said, I feel like they've already cornered the mobile market. So they may just want to claim some of the desktop market without changing too much, but they also don't need to change that much, I feel like, to maybe go that way. So I don't know. But yeah, my overall impressions is it's been good. Hopefully there's some of these basic features do get built out sooner than later. I think especially just little things like being able to edit your posts that are scheduled. I feel like that's just like a super basic one. It does seem like little things, like I said, it's weird to me that I have to go to like view analytics to get here. Maybe there's some page I'm missing, but it's... Yeah, I don't know, just need some more cohesion between the two, and yeah, I can kind of see the bones of it, like in terms of you think about normal YouTube versus like the studio area, but they just haven't quite got everything together yet, and I don't know how long this has been here or anything. I said this video is very much coming from the perspective of someone just coming over here without knowing anything and just going at it, I'm not like looking into the history and all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of going at it, and this has been my experience, and I don't know, I want to ramble about it. So thank you for listening. I appreciate you watching. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, I don't know, let me know if there's any interesting update in the future, and we'll see how I go. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. If I have, I might try and cut in or something. But yeah, just if you made it this far, just yeah, really appreciate it. Be well, enjoy the rest of your day. And I don't know, hopefully I'll see you in something else soon. Bye bye.